I could just open. Okay, go ahead. Hey, hey, hey.
Hello.
Welcome back.
How you
Welcome
doing?
back.
22.
Yes, welcome back to season 5.
Yes. Come on in. How's everybody doing?
Yes.
It's good to see all y'all. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
missed you.
It's
I've
Valentine's Day.
been
Super
following
Bowl.
y'all on Instagram and Facebook and all that. All of y'all are doing some good things. So you've taken good use of the break that we've had, huh?
Definitely.
Yeah. Especially Amir. Amir's taking some really, really good use of the
I'm doing my best. Doing my best.
Yes. So come on in, everybody, and hopefully we have some our returning friends of the show, but we have some new ones. Come on in. I know we were sharing it. We have a lot to talk about.
yes,
Um,
yes. Make sure you go
and
ahead and share, so your friends can tune in.
yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Was it a good one? Anything special?
We
I
went
went to my favorite place on
Which is?
the melting pot.
Oh,
Oh,
I
Yeah.
still have not been there. I need to take.
Really?
I still haven't been there. No, I need to. I probably need to take Justin there to see if he'll like it.
I
It's
have a
not.
coupon for a fondue that's like 5 years old. I don't even know if they'll even honor it anymore.
so
Probably
you have
not.
to eat
No.
5-year-old fondue.
It's. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people like you. Just. I think you just have to be. Some people are just not fond of cooking their own food, but I
Mhm.
think it's the experience. I'm like, if you can't appreciate the experience, then I feel like don't go because you're going to be a whiny bug the whole time. Like, just don't go. Go
I feel
somewhere
like
where.
you have a personal story there.
I
I
was
went there
about to say
once.
that too.
Yeah,
Like you want to share? Like what happened?
because I enjoyed it. I thought the food was good. I
It's
will say
amazing.
I went hungry and I was like, oh, we have to cook each piece. But I didn't complain, I just went with it. But I was hungry. My stomach was growling while I was waiting for my shrimp to
Yeah,
finish
I
up.
mean, for everything happens before there. I mean, there's a salad, like it's the beginning, the cheese part, and then the salad, and then, and once you get to that point, it's just like I don't know. If I could go maybe like several times a month, I would be happy.
Really? So what is it?
Several
It's
times
like
a month.
cheese.
So your first course, I guess,
Hmm
is cheese. Is a cheese fondue, and
hmm
then they bring out bread and apples, cauliflower, um, carrots, and you dip that in there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then after that, they take that away. And people think it's not a lot of food, but it really, like once it starts coming, it is a lot. So then after that, they bring you your salad, and
hmm
then after the salad is your entree, and then whatever it is that you pick, you cook it, and then it's unlimited vegetables. So broccoli, your broccoli, mushrooms, potatoes, and that all goes in the pot. And you have your but it to me it fills you up because you have to pace it. So it's like it really like you do get full because you're not like constantly you're pacing yourself.
It's
And
not
then
even just the fullness. It tastes good. It really
yeah,
does
it's
taste
good.
good.
It's
So
good.
what's the entree? Is it like meat or is it?
So it's whatever it is. So like we had surf and turf. So we had shrimp, lobster, and then like tenderloin, I think it was.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
everything is kind of like in salmon, and everything is kind of like in cubes. And then except for the shrimp, of course, it's the shrimp, and then you just put it in there, and everything cooks. We cook everything for like 2 minutes in the pot,
Okay.
and then and it's the chocolate. The chocolate.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to put it on my list.
We went to Ruth's Chris. You know, I think I seen a meme recently where they said, you know, once that paycheck hits, you start asking Ruth where Chris is at. I felt it. I really wanted to do it, but I was like, you know, I'm here on a special date, so you know, got my food full. Forgot about the Super Bowl. I don't care about none of them teams anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. I know we're just having our own little banter, but please come on in. Please let us know where you're tuning in from. We're so glad that you're here with us. We are just talking about some of the things that we did over the weekend to celebrate our significant others and or either ourselves or, you know, what we did. But, you know, it's funny because Ruth Chris is not, it's very high on people's list, but I have gone there one time and I vowed to never go back.
Oh man.
I just feel like when you pay that much for a steak, if it cannot be reheated the next day and you eat it and it's good, absolutely no way I can go again. Like I've had Waffle House steak and could reheat that the next day, and it was way better than to me than with. I was just like, this is.
I wasn't a fan of either of Ruth Chris.
It was not.
We didn't even have leftovers, but I understand. I get it. Whatever, to each his own.
Yeah.
So y'all want to kick it off?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So this show is all about what? Relationships, the good, the bad, and
relationships. So if you have any relationship questions, this is definitely the time for you to put them in the comment box, and we will definitely try to get to them. But until then, we are going to go ahead and get started with our conversation.
Who's gonna kick us off?
Juicy.
You know what? Let's get on the show that everybody's talking about. Amir.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone's on Tinder. Obviously, I'm married, so I'm not on that app. But apparently, they call him the Tinder swindler. And I'm just gonna pull up his photo now. And I mean, y'all could be the judge. But do you think that this man can swindle you? I think that's a good question. Shanika has something to say about it.
He is a nice
in general, what happened is he basically pretended to be rich, got the girl on his good side. Then, about a month or so later, after he's done spending money and splurging on his new female friend, he suddenly is under attack. His bank accounts are closed, and he needs money desperately. And these girls would send him money, and not just a couple of dollars. I'm talking thousands. And now he has a whole show dedicated to him I think it's on Netflix.
Yep.
And boy, oh boy, I mean, I cannot believe that he got away with this. What do you guys think?
Well, you know what? I saw another picture when I was researching the topic, and I always have to say he looks like money. Whenever he gets dressed up, he looks like money. I mean, he's labeled out. He looks polished. He's very pristine. And the thing that he did was he invested into these women first. That's what got through them all, because he took them on lavish trips, he said, like to Europe, took them to fancy restaurants, bought them gifts first, and then his enemies were after him. That's when he went into crisis. And of course, these women thought, he had all this money, so they probably believed that he was good for it. So
he was investing in the scheme.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking when I fall for it, I probably would have fallen for it.
Well, for him, because he did go into
would you falling for him or falling for sending him money?
I would have fallen for the game. Because if I just met him online and then he starts because I've done an online dating. I met my husband online. But if he initially came off with needing some money, then that would have been a red flag instantly. But to put me on a lavish vacation, to buy me lavish gifts, I mean, I don't know the time span in which he did all this, but then to invest in me first, I would have been, I'd been, oh shoot, I didn't hit the jackpot. So when he asked me for money, I probably would not have, been suspicious, probably. So he probably would have got me.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you're on a resort you're on Bora Bora. You know, the shrimp. They bring out fondue for you, Shanika.
Yeah, fondue.
You know,
All that
he's paying
cheese.
for it all. Not
because I think for me, the first thing that would come across is like I think everything is a scam. I think everything is a scam. So I just don't know. Like I would like my first thought would have been like, where I mean, like you're not in this rich world by yourself. Like where are your rich friends at? Like why can't you? Like where are they? Like that just
I'm
don't.
like you. I'm like you, Shanika. I'll be like, you done took me all the way over here, and now your money dried out. Like, what the
So what was his answer? Because all the memes I saw was like, my enemies are after me, or was that what he was saying to them, or something like that? Everybody was saying my enemies are after me.
Yeah, I think that was just the one that stuck with people. I don't know if he said that to every woman, but I think the documentary just followed a few girls.
I think
and in it, they talked about how it was like his enemies were after him, and he didn't have access to his money, and that once he sorted it all out, he would pay them back. And woo! So I definitely think, you know, I agree. I think if he was over there going crazy, you know, with money, and it's just, you know, I can understand why someone might say, whoa, like he must really be about this. Like maybe he really needs my help. But to Chanel's point, and Shanika, you know, I do think everything is a scam. I'd be like, did somebody take your phone? You know, you over here asking about, oh, I need money. Are you in danger? Did someone kidnap you? Because you know, you spent the money on me. And I think he may have chose women who also have money, because that's one thing I was telling Fabian is, I'm like, I bet he ain't date nobody who couldn't, you know, give him $2,000, you know, right off the bat, or open an account.
Absolutely.
So y'all telling me none of y'all have ever been taken by a scam? None of y'all have ever fallen for the little homeless person on the street, giving them money, and then seeing them get in a car or actually not be in the situation they portrayed that they were in?
Of course I have.
Okay.
The amount matters. The amount matters.
But this person was taking you on, buying you gifts, and that you weren't totally thrown off.
I would have
been
to
Europe, spending all this money on you.
Yeah, they got on planes with a private jet.
Yeah, private jet. Dude had on Ferragamo shoes, a Gucci polo shirt.
My thought would be, listen. This is my thought. You took me to these places, and you did all this, and we did all this. Like, a wise person would know not to put all your money in one place. I'm gonna need you to have a stash at the house or something. Like, I just don't know that I could give you to sell some shoes. Like, I don't know, but I put them on. You go put it on my spot.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And the sad thing is, I can see you saying that, Shanika. I can see you actually going through that conversation, and I would be like, "Oh man, this dude done bought me all this stuff and brought me all the way over here. How can I not give him the money?" It would have hit me like that. That's
I
how
would have paid for myself to get home.
Oh my gosh!
And okay,
then I would have had to borrow some money from you when I got back, because he would have got my money.
Yes, I can see.
I get it. Well,
I'm still trying. I mean, and you good and married now, but I'm still like, did you do a background check? Like,
all right. No, I have never done that. I mean, my own background check, Googling the phone numbers and Googling the pictures, Google
Virginia judicial system.
Right. So what about y'all? Would y'all have fell for the Tinder swindler? Like, would y'all send him money? Fabian said no. I mean, and plus, when you talking about taking out a loan, like, no.
Oh no, I wasn't talking. No.
I mean, I'm not signing levels to the scams, right? Like, some girls, they just gave him some money. I mean, I'm not saying that anyone will fall for it, but I can understand how after he did all that stuff for you, you might be like, oh, I'll send you a check. I got it. You know, why not help him out? Then you don't hear from him no more, and you're like, oh no, right? But, you know, maybe the enemy's got him. But I think if it was like, oh, can you open out a bank of, credit card? I think he got someone to open an Amex card on him. Hold on a second.
No.
Okay, give me an update. I don't know. He hasn't been like prosecuted or anything for any of these, has he?
Yeah. He's banned from some of those sites, like I think it was Tinder and Hinged. He's banned from being on a lot of the dating sites.
But as far as legal,
Yeah,
I think those three did, didn't it?
Yeah, there has been legal action, but some
Litigation.
people feel like it really wasn't. It was like a slap on the wrist. Like,
which it should have been, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, he is just scamming. He didn't murder any of them, even though.
I mean, and people without money get scammed all the time in relationships.
But so aside from this, even when I watch those shows like what, not 90 Day Fiance, but those shows where people meet people and it's like, I'm gonna fly over to so and so and meet him.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you get over, they're not there, or they're giving you a runaround, and then you've already sent naked pictures, you've sent them money because they needed clothes, because they needed, but you can't even FaceTime with this person. You can't get I'm just like,
you.
I don't know how people get into those situations. I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, because the first time I'm like, let's video chat, and you like, no.
That's it. That's it for me. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
All right. So we probably by now everybody has heard the story about AJ Johnson. If you do not know who AJ Johnson is the mother off of Baby Boy.
Shireen.
Yeah, she actually came out and was talking to she was on a podcast, I think, and she said that she, for her 50th birthday, she gave herself a threesome. And she talked about how wonderful it was, how sensual it was, how it was for her. And so she got a lot of backlash from it because people were just saying that she just basically had a train ran on her. And so she came out and was like, listen, I never said that there was any penetration happening. I never said any of those things. And for you all to come out with that, because that's the first thing that where your imagination takes you, then you may be telling on yourself more than what I am telling. And she was like, I had an experience, and that was that. You know, I didn't say anything else. I just said how it was, how my experience was. So I think my thing is, why? So what if she had, and then she said, and if I did have a train, choo choo. If she said if I did, so my thought is like, so what if she did have a train ran on her? Like, if that's what she wanted to gift herself for her 50th birthday, so what? But my question is this: yes, she's just gorgeous. Is your birthday okay? So for you all, you know, because you hear people say, oh, the only time I get oral is for my birthday, or the only time I get this is for my birthday. Are y'all birthday people, or are y'all like give and take only for birthdays, special occasions? Or
are you talking about as it relates to sex only?
Like oral, things that you wouldn't necessarily do on a regular basis, or do you do these things on a regular basis, or are these only birthday?
Just jump right on in.
What are you asking?
Just jump right on in.
Are y'all holiday people? Are y'all just like, no?
Can we clarify the question just a little bit more, please?
You said what?
Claire, what are you asking us?
I am asking, do y'all, is oral, if you give oral pleasure, is it just on special occasions? You giving oral or receiving oral? Is it just why?
Honey, let me tell you something.
So
we're not even getting to the all.
It was her 50th birthday, so she gave herself this threesome.
Well, that's not what she did.
Huh?
That's not all she did.
You said that's not all she did?
No.
I thought she had a whole threesome. Do we know if
it was
2 women or 2
she
men?
had a threesome, right?
It was 2 men. She had a threesome. Yes.
Yeah.
But was it 2 women or 2 men?
My question to you is because on her 50th birthday, that was one of the things that she gave herself. She did for her birthday. So I'm asking y'all, That's not something that she's doing on a regular basis.
Okay.
That's
I'm just trying to figure out why you just chose oral.
well, okay, because I wanted anything. Like, do you have to certain
You
things
turn
that
it
you
red.
okay?
You turn it pink, Shanika.
Because why do you not understand?
Okay. Would
Okay.
any of y'all have gotten to the altar if that was just a birthday thing?
Oh,
That part. That part.
Okay,
I
so or whatever it is, do you have a special time that you only do this?
Amir,
You do it all the
Amir,
time. Whatever it is
I
that
see
you
all your
do.
teeth,
no.
Amir.
Yep.
That's not special. That's bare minimum, right? I mean,
Bear to bear.
special.
That's required.
And I
Yeah,
do have a special time whenever I can get it. Yeah.
it's special. It's special occasions. Oh man. Now I understand.
People, it's like, okay, you can only get this for your birthday. Like giving you
No.
head is only
No,
something.
baby,
But
no.
she had a whole threesome.
No.
It's a whole threesome.
And that's that.
And it wasn't all at one time. Hers was okay. She said, I think she said that it was like a tag in type thing.
Right. I mean, but it wasn't for her. Right. But for
Because
her.
that makes sense. That makes
No.
sense because
Okay,
if it was that's why they say it was a train because it
Yeah.
was tagging.
It was a
I think
tag
if
in.
everybody was engaging at the same time,
Right.
they probably would have stuck to threesome.
That was video
But-
magic.
I
Yeah.
just think a train is really it kind of implies that it's the homies and it's not typically non-consensual in my opinion.
Right.
You know,
right.
that's why I wouldn't consider
So it's the
that.
verbiage that's
Yeah.
I would
Okay, so Michael knew what I was talking about because he said no, he gets his on a regular basis, and he was like, "Yes, I'll suck the bone out that piece every."
I'm surprised he didn't just put slurp like
I'm trying to give you some more images to grab, Chanel, for the next video.
no,
I need y'all to answer my damn question.
we did. Come on, we're a special occasion. I'm pretty sure everyone's in agreement. It doesn't need to be a special occasion.
No, it can't be.
And if it is,
that's it. It can't be. We're not even getting past.
it's sort of like people would say for
Like,
Valentine's
do
Day.
that on his birthday, or that's a birthday thing. Like I only do this. Like I've heard people say that.
I've heard it. I've
Okay,
heard it, and I don't know
what
how
do
they
you
lie.
offer just on birthdays?
I was going to say, Shanika, now do we need to talk to you? Do you want to talk to us about something?
No, I didn't say I said it. Yeah,
Because we're all in agreement that no, we don't understand why the question came up, but you posed the question, so let's talk. It's just us. It's just us.
Because I want to know how many people are holiday and special occasion people are. Do you do this whenever you need to do it? That's
Okay,
all.
viewers, chime in. Tell us, do you have any special occasion activities? Let us know. Let us know in the
It
chat.
better not be a special occasion. I've heard people say it. Valentine's Day is booty a gift, and I'm all like, how often are y'all having sex? Right?
Yeah.
Because if that's the gift, I mean, did y'all just start dating? Was the first date Valentine's Day? Because okay. You ain't even have time to get a gift, I guess. But even then, I'm still like, nah,
Yeah.
a special occasion.
Fabian, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. When a guy has a threesome with two girls, do they get a train rent? Do they get a train rent on them as well?
Nope.
That's what I said.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, no, they say no, and the whole idea, and as AJ said, she wasn't talking about penetration, even though we're sure that's what happened. And honestly, I don't really want to think about it like that. But it's very specific, a train, and it has a whole connotation, and rappers say, "Oh yeah, we ran a train."
It puts the image in your head.
Yeah, and it's like
it's
all of the
definitely
guys'
negative.
friends has sex with a girl that one guy brought over. It just,
But she did say they were friends.
I wonder how the friendship is now.
Okay, so what's the added
it depends
extra?
on who performed better.
What's
Okay.
added extra? I need to know what's added extra. Is that you dressing up? Y'all role playing? What's added extra? I need.
Okay.
Okay, guys, let's go.
All right. Okay. So Kiera Clark Sheard. Everybody know who she is, the gospel singer. She's the daughter of Karen Clark Sheard. Let me put a picture up of her and her husband. So that is Kiera Clark Sheard. She got married last December 2020. Ooh, yeah, 2020. All right, what is this year? 2022. Yeah, so 2020, they just celebrated 1 year. So this is her rule. She says that she sends guests to the hotel to keep them away from her man. She said that when her girlfriends come to visit, she makes them stay at a hotel so that her husband isn't tempted to have sex with them. She said her mom always told her, don't have too many people around your house. She said, I don't care how good or how good they are or how much you trust them or whatever it is. She said, I'm very mindful and careful. I will buy my friend a hotel room before I let them stay at my house. She said, we as believers believe that we have to share everything, and I'm not sharing my man. Since I'm not sharing my man, I have to be cautious with everything else that I share as far as him being there too. I think it's such a thing as boundaries. Some friends don't know that balance and can't understand the balance. So is this, to you guys, is this a red flag? Does this signify some type of insecurity that she may have? Something that's going to lead to some issues down the road where you can't have no female friends, where, you know, she going through your phones. To me, this was just like a huge red flag. What do you feel about it? Or is this good advice?
Wow.
It's shocking, isn't it? I'll go ahead and go. I think honestly, you know, it's a red flag for her friends, for her husband, for her. I mean, you don't, because we're not in the relationship, you just got to wonder, like, where did this come from? It's sort of like when you see a sign that says, do not push, like, do not open this door. It's because there's a story behind it. There's someone who opened the door and they got hurt.
Right.
Same thing with her. Oh, I got to go put my friends up in a hotel because some of them don't know boundaries. And then she's talking about, we share everything and I don't want to share my man. Like, wait, hold on. Isn't that, shouldn't you be clear with your friends on that? I just can't, and if it's because of the man who maybe he's been stepping out on the marriage a lot.
That's what I was thinking.
That's like the first thing I think, right? But
Yeah.
then I'm just kind of like, she's putting it on her friends though.
Exactly.
Like he has a history.
Yeah, because my friends come from out of town, and I think that my wife is gonna sleep with them. I'm sending my wife to the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we together? What you talking about? It's the same thing. Why punish the friends for that?
Because to me, it seems like there's no trust either way. She doesn't trust her friends, and she doesn't trust the person that she's married to.
Right.
Yeah. I think to hear it said out loud though what jolted everybody is like, whoa. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people think that way. Especially if friends are single.
Would you let it happen? If you were, your friend came from out of town and you and your man living together and, she got to crash at your house and you got to go to work. Are you cool with that?
Oh, no, not if I got to go to work. No.
What, she got to come to work with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tanika?
You have friends and family day.
Tanika awfully quiet. Yeah, when she gets quiet like this, you gotta.
But I think that we don't need to be naive. Mm-hmm. There's a first time for everything. Even a man that has never cheated or a woman that never cheated before, cheaters have had their first experience. So we do this every day. We avoid certain situations because of a possible outcome.
Yeah.
And I just think that could be a setup for failure. I mean, people fall.
And I think that sometimes what happens is we tend to know things about our spouses, but we don't say them out loud, and then we turn and put it on our friends. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I know my husband is a cheater, but my spouse is a cheater. Excuse me. So let me just say to my friends, hey, like, my mom has just always taught me not to have girlfriends or have people or women around the house, and because it's easier to put it off on your friends than to really be like, oh, he's really a cheater and I'm scared that he might try to sleep with one of y'all, or whatever. I think that, I think I think it is partially insecure.
Mhm.
It's insecurity. Do I think that she has a right to think that? I mean, yes. I mean, you have a right to think whatever it is that you want to think about what happens in your home. Absolutely.
I can think of like 20 reasons why I don't want my friends staying with me and my wife that has nothing to do with them having sex with my wife.
Right. That is not going to be the first thing that's going to come to my head. Like,
okay, what are some of those?
What would be the other reason?
Oh, I just mean just my own personal space. I mean, honestly,
okay.
Just having my own personal space. You know, I mean, I was kind of exaggerating with how many reasons, but in general, it could just be like, dang, like, you know, we got our room, and then you're gonna be in there farting, breathing up my air, eating my food. Go stay at a hotel. You know, we were cool when we were younger, but I'm like, now I'm married. You know, I mean, it depends on how big your house is too, right? I mean, if I have a 20-acre, you know, estate.
But
okay, wait. Shelly said I had a girlfriend in town, not just try one of my men, but to Lord.
Yeah, scandalous. That's Shelly Pittman's comment is scandalous right there. I was
I don't know. Insecurity versus caution. I mean, it's a fine line.
I think that as several people have already said, I just feel like you can't keep if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know, the cards to me is already dealt. The cards have already been dealt. It is going to be what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
You gotta have an opportunity. You gotta have opportunity.
Listen, he could drive over to the okay, so this is the reason why, number one, I don't ever want it to be and we've talked about this. I don't ever want it to be that anybody thinks that I'm trying to talk to a man, which is the mere fact why I do not have any of my female friends, husbands or boyfriend, whatever phone number. Like we're not gonna play that game. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do that. We're not playing that game. No, there's no reason why we need to communicate. There's no reason why we need to, or whatever the case may be. And some people are okay with that. Some people are okay with you having their significant other's phone number, and that's great. That's fine, and that's great if that's what you deal with. But I mean, I still feel like at the end of the day, no matter what type of hold or grip that you have on a person, they will find a way. If they're going to do it, they're going to find a way to do it. They're going to find a way, whether it was with your friend or whoever, your friend, your coworker, their friend, their coworker, the person they met at the grocery store, the person they met, wherever. It's just gonna happen. And I don't know what.
I don't think sending her friends to the hotel room will stop her husband from sleeping with her friends.
You just drive to the hotel room. You probably prefer the hotel room,
right?
But. So let me ask you this. So is there a expiration date on karma? Because this whole story got me to thinking. I told you I was a mess, right, when I was young. And I'm like,
oh God. No, there is no expiration date on karma.
So I can still get that back, huh?
No, there is. I do think that there's an expiration date on karma. I think.
Well, hopefully it's past. Because early 20s.
But this is the thing. Karma does not have to come back the same way it was dealt.
Let's hope not.
Now, I do believe that the emotional outcome will be equivalent, but the act may not be.
I feel like when they said God died for our sins, that's where I'm at with it.
So karma to me, I think is sometimes misrepresented. It exists over lifetimes, right? Like you have to believe that you're going to be reincarnated. Like that karma, obviously, I mean, sure, maybe it would come back immediately, but typically what they mean is like you might live your entire life without any consequences, but then your next lifetime after you've passed is when karma hits, and you won't even know why you're suffering so much. You're suffering in your current life because in your past life you did something horrible.
Thank you.
However, I do believe there is some truth to that, but I also know that a lot of people look for karma to return the way they dished it out. Yeah. And that's not always true.
Well, yeah, no, but people
it could be something totally different. So it may not come back that way, but the emotional outcome for you will be equivalent. So if you ever, in my opinion, if you ever experience any type of emotional trauma that was equivalent to the trauma that you caused.
Many times over. So I just don't know if I'm caught up yet.
But we also had this conversation before too. Like, do you make that correlation? It's like, okay, I'm going through this right now, and this could possibly be because I did X, Y, and Z. Like I told you, like I think about stuff like that. It's like,
me too.
like, dang, I said that and it wasn't nice, and now I'm having this struggle right now. I'm going through right now, but it could be because of this, or it could be because of that. But I don't know. I mean, I have a tendency to look at things like that, but not everybody does. It's just like, okay, it was just bad luck. It was just because it rained outside that day, or it was just because I didn't go prepared, or I did, and not thinking about that time when I did X, Y, and Z, and this is perhaps the karma that's coming back to haunt me.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah.
Well, dang, Amir. NASA, we got to be supporting Will at this moment. You'll be good.
Do some
Thank
good
you.
deeds.
Thank you. Because I just feel worse now. This is what, 30 years, almost 30 years ago.
I think that's already over. I don't think you need to process that any longer. I think that is possible. Yeah, I think that's over.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just don't keep on doing a whole bunch of, stuff that you got to be questioning whether it was for this or for that.
Well, I was married now. I can't,
I was married now. Well, you guys, speaking of karma and fallouts, I want to talk about, or I want to know what you guys have done, the worst thing you've done, like in a fallout from a relationship or a breakup, because Kanye is going crazy. He's made songs about Kim's new man Pete. He's called him a skeet. I mean, he has lyrics all over the place about him. So clearly he's going through, a hard breakup. But it doesn't seem like he's handling it very well. What are some of the things that you guys have done, the worst things, whether that person knows it or not, post breakup? How have you handled it? Because he is not doing well.
I don't have an answer for that.
You never done anything crazy?
I don't have an answer. I'm trying to think. Like, no, I don't think that, like.
Or what are some of the worst things you've heard, whether it's friends or whatever? How, because this man is teetering on the lines of he's threatening the guy. He's writing songs about him. One of his song lyrics said, I gave you my wife. Like, no, she don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just really sad. I mean, I don't know why he's really working so hard on this. We all can empathize with him in terms of the fact that he's trying to co-parent with someone like Kim Kardashian, who may put her kids in what some people will consider compromising positions with social media. So, for example, Northwest using TikTok, or so, I could empathize with Kanye and be like, "Oh, that's not right." We're celebrities, and we're putting our kids out there for the world to be horrible to them in comment sections and whatnot. And I mean, regular people think about that with their kids being on social media. But when it comes to what Kanye is doing, when it doesn't really seem like it's about the kids, it kind of reminds me of Ray J when he released a song called I Hit It First to shame. Yeah, he shamed. I don't remember if it was about Kanye or if it was about whoever else was dating Kim Kardashian. But Ray J released an entire song basically saying that he had sex with Kim Kardashian before everyone else. So, that's his girl. So it's like that possessiveness where I'm all like, we get it. You married her. I don't know why she wants to be with Pete Davidson, but here we are. You know what I mean? You bought a house across the street for them? Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
Like, oh my, like, I mean, he just keeps making it worse. I just can't understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't. Well, I've done a drive by about in my teenage years, but that's the extent. I just wanted to see.
Okay, I was like, you shot them up? Wow.
No, no,
Doesn't that take a different turn? I've done a
no,
drive-by.
no. I just wanted to see.
I think that's probably maybe the extent of what I really heard people. I'm trying to think if I've heard anybody do any the funny thing, and I'm not women can be very emotional when it comes to that sort of thing. But just when I'm looking on just Facebook and here lately, just seeing just different things on Facebook when these guys are like taking lives, they're taking women's lives because they have moved on or they don't want to be with them, or they, that becomes to me very that's I guess the extent in which I'm just like, why? What gives you the right to take somebody's life because they don't want to be with you?
Or make
Like,
their life miserable.
right. It's like, right, if that person wasn't happy, then why can't you accept that person wasn't happy with you and that they're moving on, or that when you were abusive and they are moving on, or whatever. But I don't think I've really experienced anybody doing anything, not that I can like really think of offhand, of doing anything crazy.
Will, have you ever had a cheaters moment back in the day when you was collecting karma?
Okay, go ahead. I was gonna say I'm lying because I did have I had one of my friends who broke up with this guy, and then he had one of his friends call her and say that he had killed himself, and he didn't.
Oh no.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
And she just like went like, oh my
Say
gosh,
that
like,
again, Will.
I said I had a relative who had that happen to them as well. Um, her ex told her. I mean, her ex put together this whole scheme for it to get back at her that he had killed himself over her, and he did not. But she thought that was for like over a month.
Oh my goodness.
That he had killed himself, and she was like going through it. I was like, But me, let me see.
Anybody ever
Okay,
went
so
off on
this was
you?
back when I was in the stupid years, when I was in my 20s. So what I would do, this was back when pagers were out. Y'all remember pagers, beepers?
Yeah.
So I got hold of the dude that my ex was seeing, and I used to put the number to the funeral home in it. So whatever he would call it, he would be calling different funeral homes all the time. I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna get you for real. So that, and then I used to do stupid stuff like go to where I know his car is and move his car. So he would walk around the parking lot trying to find his car, get his lights and
Because
stuff
you
turned
still
on,
had
stuff
to
like that.
see.
Petty stuff like that. I was in my 20s, and I was hurt. I was embarrassed. So the feeling that you were saying, you're embarrassed that somebody chose to move on and that you haven't. That's what caused you to think of all these stupid things. That's what Kanye's going. He's embarrassed over the fact that he's not with her. He's not as great as he thought he is, or he thinks he is, and she's with Pete Davidson. So that's why. And I think somebody really needs to get to him before he does, because I think he made a prediction a couple months ago that he was going to be dead by next year.
Oh man.
He said that
Yeah.
in the article that he was going to be, but this is before all this happened. He said he was going to be dead and broke next year, is what he said.
Goodness. I mean, then why is he dating that white woman? I'm sorry.
I mean, but this is like what he dated the model first, the young model. So he's just going through trying to band-aid it, or probably trying to tick her off to see if that's going to cause it. These are things that I've gone through mentally.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. At the end of the day, he's trying to get back at her because he probably really thinks that she can't possibly like Pete Davidson, and it's got, man, he's just
It's getting out of hand. I mean,
he's down
at
bad.
this point, should she be concerned about her safety if it keeps getting worse?
I'm sure she's already probably gotten some things underway.
Sure.
I know her mom has probably mentioned it to her.
Well, it's just sad to see him go that way. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Praying for them.
Who had another topic? Did anybody else have another one?
Well, if we're gonna talk about people going crazy in relationships, um, y'all heard about Dana Lee and the baby and the bowling
Fighting at
alley
the
fight?
what in the world? They sliding everywhere.
Sliding. Oh my God. So for me, okay, I understand that we talked about the Danny Lee thing and the baby back in the day when they were breaking up and everyone was arguing about if he did her wrong. But now, I mean, I forgot about it. I know the news cycle moves fast, but I honestly am like, oh yeah, I forgot he was even dating that girl.
Mhm.
But for her brother to show up at the bowling alley, now hear me out. Maybe he was there. Maybe he goes bowling regularly. I mean, I don't know about anyone named Brandon Bills showing up at a bowling alley just unsolicited, but he shows up and he decides he's going to defend his sister's honor
Yeah.
in order to fight the baby for what he did to his sister. And now everyone's debating on if the baby is a B word. I know we're uncut, but some people take that harshly for letting his bodyguards whip his ass along the court or whatever you call that thing, the alley.
Oh, so the baby didn't fight.
Well, he threw the first punch. He
Oh, okay.
punched him,
And then he stepped back.
then everyone just kind of jumped in
Jump
and
in.
dragged him into the bowling alley. Like you said, they were sliding everywhere. He was still swinging, but basically, Mr. Bills had threatened the baby for months. He's been making videos. He's like, "I'm gonna get you. If I see you, it's on sight." And then he saw him, and then all of his people came and beat him up instead of just the baby one-on-one.
Because wasn't a video the videos that he was making and he was like he was calling him the N-word. He just kept saying, they were saying, I saw a video or something that he was saying or something, and he was just constantly like he was just constantly saying the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, the N-word. And then I don't know if he was calling the baby that or whatever. And then, once he showed up or they showed up or somebody showed up, they showed out at the bowling alley, either way. But yeah, that whole situation just needs to die down at this point. Like, it just needs to die down because, like,
So I guess my question is, has she moved on? I mean,
I really think that she wanted to be in a relationship with him. I really think that she wanted to, and he's not doing it. But I think that she had kind of committed herself to being in a relationship with her. And all the things that he said to her, she believed it and took it in, and all that. But no, I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like she just really wanted to be in a relationship with him, and it was a letdown that she wasn't, because even from the past, when all those pictures that she kept posting, like, we were in a relationship, and he's like, no, like, you took pictures, but that doesn't say that we're in a relationship. So I just really think that that's what she wanted. And, she, instead of getting a relationship, she got a baby. And, yeah.
Yeah, especially being young and her first child. Of course, she was super attached to him. And she probably did think things that weren't really true, like oftentimes women do.
Right. Right. And I mean,
but I'm not sure if he made it clear either.
Well, I mean, I think that the unfortunate thing about that is I do believe, and this is the problem that I'm having right now with just conversations with people, and just having conversations with people. It's like, if I say I don't want to be with you, or if you ask me what's wrong with me, and I say, listen, I don't like when you are condescending, when you're talking to me, or whatever the case may be. And I say that directly to you, and I'm telling you what the problem is. And then you turn right back around and be like, no, like, what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? Like, you're mad because I did such and such and such. It's like, hell no. I already told you why I was mad. Why the hell are you trying to make up some shit that I didn't even say? I said, this is why.
Well, that's narcissistic. That's gaslighting.
But right, and people don't
Right.
want to hear what you have to say. It's like, no, I already told you. Why are you making up things? And I think that people have this syndrome of like, I heard you, but that can't possibly be the reason why you're mad, or that can't possibly be the reason why you're not talking to me, or that can't really be the reason why you don't want to be with me. It's like, yes, it is. Like, it's no more, no less. Yes,
It's a
that is.
manipulation tactic, Shanika. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and then I think
they're belittling it. You know.
what, but then that's how people end up getting in situations, because you didn't listen. It's like they told you in all different kind of ways, but you didn't believe it. You didn't want to hear it. You didn't, and then you ended up getting yourself in a situation, and now it's everybody but you.
Right.
You
Well,
have
have
to.
you guys ever been in a situation where you thought it was something different than what it was?
I've been with Walter forever. I don't know. I mean, some days it was a situation that I thought should have been something else, but hell, 26 years later,
Yeah. I mean, you know,
I mean,
situationships are situationships, and you know,
I mean,
I
but we,
definitely.
but even having conversations, like I remember, like earlier on in our, it's like I'm telling you what the problem is. Like, stop making up something else. Like, fix what I'm telling you the problem is, or whatever. And I feel like, I mean, people go through this. It's like, I'm telling you what the problem is. You're trying to fix everything else, but what I'm telling you the problem is. So I just think that people don't do a good job at listening. And
What about the communicator though? Do you think you were communicating clearly?
Probably not, but you know what? Again, that goes back to that you're not communicating clearly, and you go to Toastmasters, or knowing that you're not communicating clearly, and you go get some therapy, or knowing that you're not communicating. But you have to know that for yourself. Nobody needs to step in and tell you that. You have to take accountability for yourself. It's not up to your spouse to tell you, okay, listen. Like, I know I am very aware of who I am and my communication skills. I am very aware of it, because I know me. I know me enough to know, like, okay, let me find a different way of saying this, because it doesn't appear that you're understanding what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But no, I just feel like sometimes people don't want to, they want to make up everything else but what you're saying. They don't want to accept what you're saying. It has to be something else. It has to be that you got somebody else. No, I just don't like you. No, that is that. And I don't have nobody else. I don't like you. I don't like you. Like that.
Baby, my relationship status is single and unavailable. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think
Wow,
that's what it
Shanika,
is.
you felt that one.
I
I don't like you. I don't like you.
I just don't
Your breath
want
stink.
That just bothers me. Like, people tell you, and then you just like, you brush it off. Like, no, you're messing with somebody else. It's like, okay,
somebody did
Even
that to
so,
you.
even if you were, why are they with you then? Leave. Go somewhere. Right? What is that song? I might as well have.
Oh
She
yeah,
knows.
Keisha Cole.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you accuse me of cheating?
Yeah.
That was
I
It's
just
right.
think
Like,
it's sad. I mean, it's sad in a relationship to want something from the other person and don't get it. And I think Danny Lee, I think she's super hurt, but it could be like you said, Shanika, imposed on herself.
I think a lot of people do it. I think a lot of people do it. Like, with these people who get cheated on constantly, it's like, come on. Like, they never said they didn't want to be with you. Like, they never said, listen, I'm going to do my own thing. Like, and so, like, even if it was in so many words, like, did they, when they went out,
But
when
some
they
people never say it. Some people never say it. But because they don't want to lose the benefit.
They did say it. They did. When they stepped out on you 3 times, they said it. They said it.
I mean, I agree with that.
They did say it.
Okay.
So, like, you just didn't want to hear it. You just didn't want to believe it. You just didn't want to see it. You didn't.
Okay.
So, it's all those red flags that people don't want to see. And my thing is this, and I'm all for it. I'm for the shits. If you like, listen, I don't care that he a cheater. I don't care that she a cheater. I want to be with this person. Live in your damn truth. Live in your truth, but don't act like you didn't know. Don't act like you don't know. That's the shit that gets me. Like if you just that this, as they say, how do people say it? He might not be a good person, but he good enough for me. He good for me. You know, whatever. Okay,
He's
that's your
good in the
shit.
bed, and he's not waiting on a special occasion to do something with his mouth. Am I wrong?
Right.
All right.
So live in your truth. If that's your truth, like I just want to be with him. It does not matter what it is. I don't care that he cheats. I don't care that she cheats. I want to be with this person. There's nothing that anybody can tell me about this person. Nothing nobody can tell me. I know all the things this person do.
You might not even be with that person, and you'll still say, I'm with that person. Like people do that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They think something is totally different than what it is. Like,
right. I could tell a girl like, no, I mean, yeah, we're not even together for real. You're just a friend. And if she believes that she's with me, it doesn't matter. Some people are really like that. Obsessive. Yes. Is the way I look at it. Obsessive.
Right. I know somebody right now, like when I don't know the person, but this story keeps coming up. It's like, listen, I've told this person over and over and over again. I would never be with them. I would never be with them. And do you know this person shows up birthday, Christmas, with gifts every year. Every year. The person shows up and it's like, listen, I don't want your stuff. Take it back. I'm never going to be with you. Like, stop it. Every year.
Yeah, it's funny how you have, as a person, you have to really think about the gestures that you pour out to people, because oftentimes how they're going to perceive it will be skewed.
This is how they look at you too.
Yep.
This is how they look at you.
Be like, well, I want to do something nice for somebody, but I can't because they might take it the wrong way, or you might think it's something that it's not. So, people, you gotta think about stuff like that. Because I have somebody that I know took a friend of the opposite sex, didn't take them out. They went to like Applebee's. Now, to me, if I go to Applebee's with somebody of the opposite sex, I'm not going to assume that it's more than friendship.
What if it's Olive Garden?
Nope.
Okay.
With Chris?
But for certain individuals, you gotta be careful. I would have never went there because that person thinks that was a date. Like.
Oh yeah.
And it really, and to him, it wasn't.
Mm.
So. Anyway, so sad. Sorry for her loss of said, relationship.
I do not care.
I hope she heals.
She might.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. It's
She'll
just
heal
a lot
after she stops using the N-word.
Right.
All right.
All right. That was good, guys. You all, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you all for being here. Thanks for being here for the season premiere. Every week we will have a different topic. Make sure, or if you would like to join us or send in your topic of conversation, please make sure you do. Next week we are talking about mental health. Yes.
Mental health.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So next week we will be discussing mental health. So if you have any mental health questions or comments or stories or situations, please be sure to send them into us via email, or you could go on the chat site and send it in a comment somewhere under this video. If you are watching this video after 8 o'clock, it is the replay. So please make sure you put replay in the comments so that we know that you have watched the replay. All right. Anybody else?
No, that's it.
Again, welcome back, guys. See you next week.
Good night.
Thanks for tuning in. Good night.